Good morning. My name is Tramaine Miller-Harris, and I will be presenting my project to you. Well, more likely talking it to you. So, my project title was looking at younger versus older adults and their differences between whether they value calmness due to their lifetime perspective. So, when we're looking at the lifetime perspective, it's looking at how long do they perceive that they have left within life. So before compiling the research, I looked at a vignette, and the vignette looked at 12 individuals and asked them pretty much interview questions based off of aging and emotions. And what I found interesting within the vignette was most of the individuals definitely reported that they have seen or experienced an increased rate of calmness as they got older. And they also identified that as they got older, they valued laughing more as a daily medicine. So that's what they used. And while, within the vignette, as looking at women, and it was women and men, the women reported these changes to be more adamant. They was more adamant about these changes that they were experiencing. And so, based off of that, I decided to come up with the question looking at, are there age, gender, or cultural differences between valuing calmness due to time, perspective, and life? And so, when looking at research articles, research really when looking at like the affective evaluation theory, it pretty much states that there are two affects that individuals need to have this positive emotional life. They either have a ideal affect or they have the actual affect. So the ideal affect looks at the affect that individuals want to experience. So they want to experience the happiness or sadness, whatever their goal is, which research kind of says that kind of does, says that individuals, their ideal affect wants to be happy. But research also shows that individuals' actual affect is typically what they experience more. So whether that's more sadness, whether that's more happiness, that's typically what people experience. They typically have, especially as younger individuals, they experience more of the actual affect more than the ideal affect. However, when comparing research looking at older and younger individuals, it shows that older individuals actually experience more of that actual affect. More of that ideal affect, wanting to be more, feeling more calm, because over time they go from the high arousal affect rather than the low arousal. And so when you're looking at the high arousal looks at them experiencing the more enthusiastic, the excited and elated feelings, whereas the low arousal looks at the more calm, peaceful, and relaxed. So research shows that the older individuals experience more of the calmness and the relaxed affect rather than the high arousal affect. Research also showed a cultural difference when looking at individualistic cultures and collectivistic cultures. So when we're looking at the collectivistic cultures, they value more of the low arousal affect, which is why you will see on my poster I have the China and India flag and the American flag, because a research article compared those three different countries. And within India and China, those individuals were seen to have more low arousal, especially the older individuals as well. The older and the younger individuals. And it was stating that in the collectivistic cultures, they value more of the things that bring calmness and relaxation to them. Whereas in America, being an individualistic culture, they value more of the high arousal. And research showed that this had to do with a lot of around, a lot of the media and the music and even, and within, they said like kind of like the foods that we choose, things like that, they're more like high arousal feelings or emotions that it brings individuals. So individualistic cultures experience more of the high arousal. Research also showed that older individuals were found to have decreased effect by selecting constructive or social environment. So, they choose to select more calm or relaxed environments, and they also they have attentional mechanisms that they use. And so I thought this was interesting because when we go back to the vignette, it shows that the individuals are choosing to use more of laughing as their daily medicine to kind of keep them calm and more happy and have that more of those positive low arousal effects. And so when looking at kind of the gender and the culture aspects to keep going, women were found to be more, emotionally expressive, which also, when going back to the vignette, it showed that women were more adamant about these changes that they're experiencing. And pretty much research shows that, hey, look, women are more emotionally expressive when it comes to things that are going on with them. And so that kind of what makes sense. And within a research article, it also showed that men are more calm than women, and women tend to be a little more anxious over time. And it just kind of pretty much correlated this to women having to go to work, and then they come home and they still have duties at home that kind of cause them to always kind of be on a more anxious tip. Whereas men, they go to work and then they're able to kind of be calm in other aspects outside of work. And so pretty much the conclusion of my study showed that older individuals do value calmness, and calmness has a lot to do with their happiness in life as well. So they correlate to, if they're more calm, then it brings them more happiness over time. And so compared to younger adults, studies have showed that older adults report more calm feelings significantly more. Men were found, of course, to be more calm than women, as stated. And also looking at the collective cultures and the individualistic cultures, collective cultures were found to have value low arousal, whereas individualistic cultures were found to have more high arousal. And that's pretty much the gist of my poster project. I really enjoyed the research. It was very interesting learning about older versus younger individuals and how they value the sense of calmness as they get older, and how they value high arousal, more active affect when they're younger. And so it was interesting, and hopefully you all found it to be interesting as well. Have a nice day.